Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Madison. Thank you for choosing to spend this time with us, whether you're online or here in person. We feel your presence. After the service, we invite you to join us in the Namaste Cafe down the lower level for refreshments. I am Debbie, and I am your celebration assistant today. Before our opening song, I am going to light the candle for the first Sunday in Advent, and this Sunday's candle is for hope and faith. Now I invite you to join in singing our opening song, Rise Up, O Flame.
Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Hope is the light we shine, radiating now in time. Hope is the light we are, each of us a blessed star. Rise up, O flame, by thy lights glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Hope is the light we shine, radiating now in time. Hope is the light we are, each of us a blessed star. Rise up, O flame, by thy lights glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy.
Thank you. Now, our prayer chaplain for today, Marilyn, will lead us in prayer.
Thanks, Debbie. Well, first off, how wonderful. Oops, sorry. I forget I'm short, you know. First off, it's just so wonderful to see everybody here today. Those who have spent a lot of time away over the last months, and those who have really spent a lot of time away over the last few months. So good to see everybody. And first of all, how great is it that we have our beloved Reverend Richard with us today. So not only do we get to hear him speak in person, but we also get to just spend time with him. And so we are so grateful for that. And so now let's take that love and that appreciation and gratitude into prayer. And first we'll just kind of settle in our seats and we'll feel our feet firmly placed on the ground. And we'll take a couple long, slow, cleansing breaths, opening to the season of Advent, to the season of spiritual preparation for a new birth of the Christ consciousness within us. Sweet Spirit, we open to the message of this first Sunday of Advent, that of faith. We embrace the deep, abiding knowledge of what is real, even when appearances seem otherwise. We have faith in peace and hold in mind that it is possible and is emerging in our world. We have faith in love that heals and brings us together as one. And we have faith and joy that fills us with a recognition of our deep goodness and oneness with God and with each other. And for this, we are so grateful and we are blessed, and so it is. Amen.
Okay, now it's time for our congregational song, Bring the Light. Now it is time for our weekend updates. Holiday seasons are busy. We have a lot of delightful things to announce. Okay, our speaker schedule. Reverend Richard Bunch, in person next Sunday, or today as well. And on Sunday, December 17th, it's All Music Sunday, which is always delightful. On Sunday, December 24th, we will have, the service will be at 6:30 p.m. For Christmas Eve. And Barry Roberts, one of our licensed teachers, will be leading that. Okay. We have a sacred service opportunity. We are looking for nominees for the Unity Board. Unity of Madison's nominating team is seeking individuals interested in experiencing a spiritual growth opportunity. Serving as a trustee of Unity of Madison's Board of Trustees provides another level of sacred service that will assure your spiritual evolution. Consider volunteering to serve on the board and work with our new minister. There are nominee packets in the foyer. And you can also get them at the church office. Okay, now we are once again having the holiday gift connection, as you can see, table, and I believe we have an announcement here.
Good morning. I'm Ann Schwartz. And I wanted to just remind everybody that we have our holiday connection here this morning. We still have quite a few cards left, and the Family Support and Resource Center is going to be coming next week to pick our gifts up. So we're in a shuffle for the last week to do that. Of course, monetary gifts are appreciated, and please talk to us. You know, we can talk about the creativity of how to deal with these gifts and how to take care of them if you have any questions. Pat, Arlen, and I are here. So thank you for helping for all these years, and we'll look forward to another successful year this year. We're in the midst of it. Thank you.
Okay. Christmas Choir. The Christmas Choir and Chimes Choir will perform on All Music Sunday and Christmas Eve. The rehearsal times are Mondays, December 4th, 11th, and 18th. Chimes are at 6 p.m. and vocal choir at 7. Performances, December 17th at 10 a.m. and December 24th at 6:30 p.m. See Pete Galgaro with any questions. Okay, and again, about a few more details about All Music Sunday, being December 17th at 10 a.m. If you would like to perform, let Pete know. Get to him early so you get your preferred song, since we don't want duplicates. So, they're all good, but we don't need them nice. The deadline to send Pete your participation request and song choice is December 10th. If you are not a performer, but you want to participate in All Music Sunday by providing extra treats, everybody will be grateful. And we are looking for people who can provide extra refreshments for our coffee and friendship time after the All Music Sunday service on December 17th. If you can help out, please contact Dee Steele via the church office. We are once again going to have a holiday meal. This will be Sunday, December 10th, after the service. Enjoy a meal with Reverend Richard Bunch before he returns to Virginia. Unity will provide turkey, stuffing, potatoes, and gravy. So your sides of your favorites for such meals are welcome. Please see the potluck sign-up sheets in the foyer to contribute veggie, vegan dishes, and desserts. And Pete Calgaro will once again bless us with a concert. An evening of meditative music on Friday, December 15th, 7 p.m. Tickets are $15. It's a great way to rest up a week and welcome into the weekend. Okay. All right, holiday schedule overview. December 17th, All Music Sunday. Musicians wanted. Contact Pete Calgaro by December 10th to share your talents. December 24th, Christmas Eve service, 6:30 p.m. There will not be a morning service. December 30th will be the Burning Bowl ceremony. 31st, excuse me. Thank you, everyone. December 31st, I have to be articulate here. And January 7th, the White Stone ceremony, and Reverend Deborah Carter Williams' first Sunday here. So, hey. Okay. All right. This is a reminder, if you would like to receive a call from the Unity Madison Prayer Chaplain, they would be happy to have you. If you sign up, they will be happy to give you a call and offer a short prayer and spiritual reading. Again, there are sign-up sheets in the foyer. And if you have any questions, you can talk to Mary Lynn and other members of the prayer team.
And this is the last Sunday to sign up.
Okay. Okay, so the last Sunday to sign up is today. All right. And if you're at home, if you're online, you can call the church office, I believe. All right. We have many more events that are listed online at unityofmadison.org, but I have one more. I am inviting Joe Dieter up to talk about the reasons to join the board. Hey.
Okay. Good morning. I've been on the board now for 4 years. The Unity Board of Directors have been busy over the last 3 to 4 years dealing with COVID-19, the loss of and hiring of a new minister, developing a vibrant online presence, and spearheading many long-delayed building and grounds upgrades. I'm proud to be a part of this board of directors, and I just want to tell you my top 10 reasons to be on the Unity Board of Directors. Number 10, you get to impress strangers that you're on the board of directors. Number 9, if you play your cards right, you might get to be president. You get your own set of keys to the church. Number 7, you'll get to curry favor with your new minister. Number 6, there's enough left-brained people on the board to make up for a person's ADHD. That's actually true. Number 5, you get to say cool things like, I have a proposal, or let's table that for now. Number 4, you won't have to wonder what's going on most of the time. Number 3, you get to second motions. Number 2, the board of directors often order pizza for meetings. And, drum roll please. Number 1, you get to spend the church's money. Seriously, we're looking for board members. I've enjoyed my 4 years. It's time for me to move on. If you're interested, you can talk to me or Joy. And off the top of my head, I can't remember the other members of the, what's it? Susan. Okay. But I've learned more about how the church operates. I got to say, I couldn't be more impressed with the level of business sense in this board. I frequently felt like I was in with experts and I was an amateur, but the amount of work that they've gotten done and the stuff that they've weathered over the last 4 years would be enough to wear anybody out. So it should be easier going from here now that we have a new minister coming. So if you're interested in the board, we could really use you. Thank you.
Okay. I just realized we missed the gratitude of the week, I believe. That goes in here. This is we were really blessed. In a Fillmorian display of prosperity principles at work, One of our neighbors, Victor Kilman, walked into Unity of Madison on Wednesday afternoon and offered to donate an expensive 6-year-old gas stove to our kitchen. So, bless Victor. At no expense to the church and through some hard work donated by the Wessenhards and the Rozikas, we have significantly, upgraded our kitchen stove. So thank you, Victor, Jeremy, Mary Claire, Ron, and Joanne for your efforts to acquire and install the stove. Yay. Also, thank you, Jeremy, for having your workout for the day by pushing a 400-pound stove up the hill to the church. We are prosperous. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, I'd like to welcome anyone joining us for the first time this morning. Unity of Madison is an inclusive spiritual community that welcomes people of all faiths and backgrounds. We acknowledge the wisdom of all spiritual traditions and respect each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. Our goal is to empower and encourage each other in our spiritual journeys. If you would like to know more about Unity of Madison, there are informational packets, and they're available in the back table of the sanctuary. If you are online, you can request a welcome packet through the website, www.unity.unityofmadison.org, or send an email to the office @unityofmadison.org. And now, I invite you to join me in our affirmation. Together, Unity of Madison is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And with God as our source, we accomplish mighty works together. Okay, now's the time for greeting our neighbors as we sing The Light. I see the light in your eyes. Okay. All right. Okay. Introductions now. Musicians today include Ann Zenner and friends, Joe Dieter, Pete Calgaro, and Pete Calgaro. Yeah. And our speaker is Reverend Richard Bunch. Okay. All right. Oops. I did the gratitude early, but we're still grateful. Okay, so now it's time for the daily word. And as befits the first Sunday in Advent, the words are hope and faith. As Advent season begins, I feel a quickening, a renewal deep within me as I embark upon the spiritual journey leading to Christmas. Over the year, I may have hoped for lasting peace, greater love, or abiding joy, but as I have grown spiritually, I have learned to look for those things within, to claim them as aspects of my divine identity. Once I do that, I will begin to see them manifest in my life. Faith is how I begin to bring my hopes to life. Like my other divine gifts, I always have faith. It's up to me to decide how to use it. When I choose to believe that peace will blanket the earth, love will heal our hearts, and joy will bring harmony to the world's people, I am using the power of my faith to bring these visions to vivid life. I invite you now, the Bible verse is John 1:5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. So join me in the affirmation, please. Together. My whole... My hope leads me to deepen in faith. Both good. All right. Okay. Thank you. You guys are good here. Okay. All right. Now it's time for special music.
Good morning. It's this time of the year again. As for those of you who've been here some time, you know that the tradition we have for the beginning of Advent is to sing the song, Go Calmly Into Christmas. I first heard that song at our little church house, and I was not going calmly into Christmas because I was getting my nursing degree and raising 3 children by myself. So, take it to this week. I had 12 people for a breakfast in my small apartment. I wasn't going calmly into that, but I sat down and I sang that song in my head, and it very much seemed to calm me. So if you get really rushed all the time, just think, go calmly into Christmas. And I want to thank Pete and the choir for every year supporting me in my desire to share this song.
Calmly Okay, I'm ready. Well, good morning. Good morning. I understand last Sunday that you missed a magnificent talk. You missed my talk. And so Steve called me on Monday and said, man, we had all kinds of problems. Why don't you grab a plane and come here, you know, and be in person. So that's not what happened. The board kindly invited me a while back to come back and be with you guys, and what a thrill. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be with you. I'm going to talk about a subject that's called, as soon as I find it here, hope plus faith. And those are the kind of words we hear, you know, but what do they really mean? And hope is the seed, and faith is the nutrient. Now, I bet you haven't heard that before. Have you? Yeah, I made it up, so I don't think so. Anyway, I want to just share a little story with you. Kind of reminded me when I was about 20 years old or so. There was this guy who was about 22, 23 years old, and what happened was that he went into a bar and he sat down, and this beautiful, beautiful young lady came over and said hello. And, I mean, he was so amazed and so petrified that he didn't say, why don't you have a seat? And she stood there for a while, and they talked, and he kind of, you know, bumbled his way through it. And so he said, boy, I hope she'll give me a call. So he said, would you like to have my phone number so you can give me a call? She said, sure, why don't you give me a phone number? No, I'll call probably. Then he gave her a phone number, and they started thinking, well, why would somebody that beautiful want to go out with me? Why would somebody that beautiful call me? Why would somebody that charming have anything to do with me? And so he calls back and says, Mary? She said, yes. He says, don't feel bad if you don't call me. So, obviously, he had some self-image issues. Vicki said to say hello, by the way. We're at the airport. This is the truth. And she says, why aren't I going? I said, it's a little late, don't you think? She said, yeah, we wouldn't know what to do with the dog anyway. So, but she really does miss you guys and thinks so much of you guys and the hospitality you gave us last year. So let's talk about this thing called hope plus faith. Hope is the seed. It is what you plant in the dirt so that it will sprout up. And then you use faith to have that plant grow and become mature. And that's what we do. Hope is a seed for us. And we have an idea. And we hope maybe this idea will come into fruition. But we have to do more than that. We have to not only focus on it. It's not like, well, I really hope, I hope I have a great dinner tonight, and then you don't show up for dinner. Doesn't work that way, right? You have to be there. So hope gives us that seed, and then faith is the nutrient so that seed will grow. And as we think about that, I kind of said, what is it that you hope for? And that's not it. There's a second here. Is it coming up on the screen? Okay, let's bring it up. Thank you. What do you hope for? A spiritually awakened world living in peace, love, and joy. Now, if you hope for that, it can carry you into spiritual activism. It can really move you in that direction. As you think about the hope that we can have to see a world that needs to be living in joy and peace and love. It's an opportunity. And we have to figure out how do we take this seed of hope and move it into something realistic, something we can work in, something we can do so that we are actively, spiritually changing the world. And so there are two or three things that we can look at in regards to ways in which we can increase our hope. One habit is for moving hope into faith. One of the habits is write down, these are simple, Okay? And you probably remember them. Write down one thing that has made you feel thankful during the day for the next 30 days. What's one thing? Now, there's an app called Gratitude. You can bring up the Gratitude app and you can write it in there, and the next day you come in, you write another one. And you do that for 30 days. And I will guarantee you, because I've done it, I can guarantee you that you are going to feel thankful and more thankful each and every day. And thankfulness is, again, part of that seed of hope. So when you feel thankful, you really want to do something about it. You want to make a contribution in some kind of way. Then the next thing is that we can see, that we can write 10 things down that are sacred to you each day. You can repeat those sacred thoughts, if guided to do so, every day during 10 days. You don't have to change anything you want to. You probably will, but for 10 days, just write down, think 10 for 10 days, 30 days, write 10 things that are sacred to you each day. And you can repeat those sacred thoughts if guided to do so. And then the next one is, I'm looking for them here, as we go along. There we go. Read a short text from a spiritual passage each day, such as, and this is Rooney, O love, O pure deep love, be here, be now, be all, worlds dissolve in your endless stainless radiance, make me your servant, your breath, your core. That's one I selected for the service. Mine is Christ in me is my hope of glory. I don't think there's a day that I don't say that at some point, especially when I get frustrated. Then that calms me down. Christ in me is my hope of glory. And after we look at that, we start to see, here we go. And then the other thing to do is to pray and meditate. Now, you've heard that 100 times, 1,000 times maybe. You've been coming to Unity for a while. So meditate and pray, or pray and meditate. And what we're saying here is that as your spiritual passage, whatever you chose, as you say that, you then take a few moments for meditation and prayer. I'm not talking about a 2-hour meditation. I'm talking about a 2-minute, 5-minute meditation, which is what most people can handle, frankly. And if you can do more, do it. And what will happen over time, you will be able to do more because it's catching, it's contagious. It's kind of like prosperity here. It is contagious. And you know, we started off, when I first got here, looking at what we needed to do to bring the building up to date. Because the first Sunday I was here, that sky right there was leaking on my head. And I thought, I think we've got to do something about that, okay? And so what you have done, and it continues to happen, is as you know, and boy, it was really good to see and feel that wonderful parking lot. Yeah? Yeah? And you trusted the Lord, trusted enough to get that done. And then the skylights were all over. And now they got solar panels on them and all kinds of fancy stuff. Close and open and do whatever they're supposed to do when they're supposed to. That's kind of cool. But they don't leak. I know that. And that's great. And then, most recently, you had a new stove given to you right out of Clear Blue. And it took Jeremy and Ron, I think, together, thinking they were going to put it in a pickup truck. It's about 2 or 3 blocks down here. And they couldn't pick it up because it is a professional stove. I mean, it's the top of the line that day. Still is, as far as I'm concerned. But what happened was that Jeremy and I couldn't get it in a pickup truck. So Jeremy said, I'll just pull it back on the appliance dolly, uphill. And Ron cheered him on. That's important. So anyway, they're going to, you see, nothing of that nature could have been expected. But once you start to think in a prosperous manner, you attract to you what you hope for. You attract to you what you hope for. And it's so funny because it works automatically. If you maintain that consciousness. And it affects you personally, and it affects the ministry, and it affects other people as you see that. And so we pray and we meditate, and we are inspired spiritually, and we are able to let our spiritual passions we read each day come alive for that day. Just come alive for that day. Then the next thing here is, I think, excuse me, this is a really weird slideshow here, the way we find it, okay? We did that one, sorry. Here we go. Faith is a nutrient, but let me, in a minute we're going to really talk about both, and I'll get into it. But faith is a nutrient, and you know, there are a couple of definitions of faith by Charles Fillmore and by the Bible. And faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I'm going to say it a little differently, update it a little bit. Faith is the energy of things hoped for and the evidence of energy becoming into being. Think about that. Substance is the word energy in Charles Fillmore's day and in the biblical times. So if you think about energy, that is the source that has the ability to change and to be different and to be manifested. That's more of a scientific understanding, but I think that's a spiritual understanding also, that I have that power and you have that power. And then Charles Fillmore said, faith is a perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance. Again, faith is a perceiving power of energy linked with the power to shape energy. But that means, again, is that you and I have that ability, that power to manage our energy. And when we're feeling down, we don't produce much. Matter of fact, we might get on other people's mind, or on other people's minds, yeah. So we get confused by that, and actually that means that we're not using the faith, we're just using a false hope. A false hope. That when you don't follow up with hope by neutralizing through faith, then again, what it is, it becomes a dream. How many of us have a dream that we forget the next day? I've got this great idea, right? Yeah, and the older you get, the more that happens, by the way. I know. And so anyway, so what happens is that you understand in a different way how important it is to use the energy in you and to hang on to the hope. And what that means is not just keep dreaming it, it means let it turn into something useful, something that's important. And then, as we talk here, I want to kind of give you 2 or 3 things on hope that I think would be really important. One of those is different kinds of hope that you find in psychology, you find in Psychology Today, the magazine. And that basically is called one of them is called a psychotic hope. Psychotic hope. And it provides this is what it means. It provides the opportunity to put into practice what is being taught in carefully adopted academic standards. In other words, to show the sermon rather than preach it is more important. You can preach all day, but if you don't believe in what you're talking about, or you don't demonstrate it during the week, then it's false, okay? So that's what that means. That's one kind of hope. Critical hope reflects the ability to realistically assess one's environment through a lens of equity and justice. See, we're again talking about looking at hope as a spiritual dynamic that brings into being the opportunity to use your faith, which draws to you the resources, which gives you the positive feeling that you can do this, and which creates the opportunities to bring in the resources and make a difference. And so critical hope really reflects that ability. Creating hope is another one, and that's very important. Creating hope amongst families, children, and communities who have never had hope for such things before. That's what that's all about. Think about that. Hope to improve their life, to make for a better future, and to be the best people they can be. We're hoping that for everybody. That's what we're saying when we say, I behold the Christ in each and every person. Not just a member of Unity, but the whole community. And we have that capacity to do that, to really think that way. And that thinking makes such a dynamic difference, especially when you're working with people. And we have a great outreach team here. I know that. And they do great work. But it's because they have the hope and because they have the faith that they have results. Where they're stepping out and creating hope among families and children in the community. And then there is another one called material hope. And we have to kind of be careful with this one, okay? Material hope is really saying, I hope that I have the ability to manage the resources and the prosperity that's coming my way. Sometimes material hope is, I hope I get that new car. I just said it. Okay? I hope that I get another car, even though I don't need another car. This was running perfectly fine, but I want to make sure it doesn't break down. Hope, material hope, is I want a bigger house because I want to impress my relatives. Okay? That's not a pretty good reason for it, but that's why some people do it. I used to do it because I wanted to impress my friends, very frankly. You know, and that was when materiality was very, very important to me. And I know I did some good things with it, but I also know that I did not use it resourcefully. I just wanted to collect. And when you just want to collect and not give back, you lose it every time. Every time. And so I proved that to be correct. And so there's this idea of hope coming in many dimensions, but always the spiritual hope. The spiritual hope. You might remember that Jesus healed 2 blind men. And it was kind of like, hope is louder than the crowd, would be the title of the story about Jesus and 2 blind men. Suddenly they came upon 2 blind men sitting along the road. When they heard it was Jesus passing, they cried out, Master, have mercy on us. Master, Son of David. The crowd tried to hush them up, yelled out, be quiet. Master, have mercy on us. Again, they didn't give up. And then Jesus noticed them and came over, and he said, what do you want from me? And they said, we want to see again. And Jesus touched them, and they were able to see again. It's not really important whether that's true or not. It's the thought behind it that's important. It's the metaphysical understanding of it that is important. And so what happened is that no matter what the crowd is saying, if you hope for something that you need and you want in your life or you want to share with others, then keep asking for it. Keep praying for it. And be knowing that you are blessed by it. One of the great statements that I thought Paul made is, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in the power of the Holy Spirit. That's what hope can do for you. That's what it can do for each and every one of us. And so, as we look at this idea of hope, let's go ahead, since I didn't bring the slides up, going up to the end. That's it right there. So, again, faith is the power to turn energy into some form of matter that you need in your life. Pretty simple, actually, if you think about it. Now, how do we do it? Well, with faith, you've got to have imagination. That's where you start. You have an idea. You have a hope for that idea to come true. You turn it into imagination. You see it. You feel it. You can touch it. You know exactly what it's like, as though it's right there in front of you. And then, if you sit and relax, it will come into being. We're automatically built that way. It's not just one person's secret. We all have that power. And so as we step into our faith, we make a change in people's lives. As we use our hope, we become really adept at being active in keeping people safe from harm, in keeping people from war, in keeping people from anger, in keeping people from resentments of past things. These are the things that create wars. Sometimes I think if you didn't have any leadership, we wouldn't have a war. Interesting, huh? And now I'm not talking about any politician whatsoever, I'm talking about the world, okay? And so leaders tend to want to defend, and I think people tend to want to love one another. So it's hope for love, hope for joy, and hope most of all for yourself and others to be in one. Thank you. And so now let's take that moment for prayer, for meditation. And I ask you to gently close your eyes and to feel the presence of hope in this very moment. Affirm that your faith is strong. It is a power within you. And know that during this season, during Advent, that we are especially blessed because we are more aware of faith and hope, of peace, of love, and of joy. And as you sit in a few moments of silence, I invite you to bring up something in your mind that you truly hope for. Something that you're willing to allow your faith to fertilize and to bring forth the hope so it becomes actually alive in your life and in the lives of others. And so let's just sit in the silence for about a minute or two and just be at ease and relaxed and know that the Christ is working in and through you in this very moment. I see you, bestowing, expressing, and being the Christ light during these holidays. That no matter what frustrations might come up because of the busyness of holidays, no matter what is happening, that you set the intention to be the Christ light, to be the hope, to be the faith. So now gently come back. This place, this time, but bring back with you the hope, your intention. And we say, Namaste.
sit there and the strings will expand and contract in different ways. I tune because I care. Now hear it okay? Yep. All right. A little different sounding up here. You might want to close your eyes and relax. This is a kind of a meditative song that I've tried to name 5 or 6 times and still haven't figured it out for it. It's a nice piece. You probably won't recognize it though.
Okay. Now's the time that we collect our offerings. So I invite you to take your offerings, hold it in your hands over your heart, and join me in our affirmation blessing of the offerings. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. The ushers will come forward and collect.
When we give
invite the ushers to come forward again so that we can all together bless these gifts as we send them out. Thank you. All right. Together. We are grateful for these tithes and offerings. We bless them and send them forth to do their great and mighty works. Amen. Okay. Now, I also ask you to invite you to join together in our youth prayer. Okay, together. We now open our hearts to the children and families seeking a welcoming spiritual community filled with light and love, and so it is. Amen. Now I believe I hear children.
Good morning. I was asking the kids if anyone wanted to share what we did. And Soren wanted to actually tell you guys about what we did today, so I'm going to let him go ahead.
We looked into the mirror. We looked into our mirror and everyone I don't know what I'm saying right now.
Sorry, I was trying to get you to talk in the microphone close. So we looked into the mirror. We talked about Jesus and Christmas stories. We shared what we know. You got it from here? You want me to say?
Not really.
So we shared what we know about Jesus and Christmas and the meaning of giving gifts. And we worked with the mirror that... Yeah.
And we also shared our I ams. Like, for example, I am peaceful.
Yeah, and we took turns going up to the mirror and did some prayers for each person as each one went up. We looked in the mirror and just received what came to us in terms of our I am. And then we shared and talked about how we can give the gift of reflecting back all of the wonderful things that we see in each other and also to people that we just see in our regular daily lives. Just reflecting back the good things that we see in them to lift each other up. Did you want to say something?
I made a corn snake with some eggs.
And after the service, everyone feel welcome to come up and look into the mirror.
There you go. Okay. So please join me now in our youth blessing. Together. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. All right, and now it's the first Sunday of the month. And so anyone who has a birthday in December, we invite you to stand so that we can all sing happy birthday to you. Yay. So, hey.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Now we will conclude with our peace song.